Hey everybody, this is Jim Gray from Gray Artist Services, and we do four things. We do artist development, artist management, creative services, and a record label called Redwood Highway Records. And today I've got my good friend on here, Grayson Rogers. Grayson is about a week away from dropping his first song on via Redwood Highway Records. Grayson, how are you doing?
Good, brother. How are you, man?
Man, I am, as you know, I always say, living the dream and a few of the consequences.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You
That's
need to make that a
that's right.
shirt.
That's right. A shirt, a hat, mustache combs and brushes and
Oh,
coffee
you could have a
mugs,
whole line, bro. That'd be
a
great.
whole merch kit,
Yeah.
right? And what's going on in the Rogers family household these days?
Oh my gosh. What's not going on? We got a 3 and a 4-year-old little girls. We got two dogs. Me or my wife Kayla are always traveling for work, doing something. Oh, it's and I get got recording music and writing songs and doing all the marketing stuff, man. So it's a whole lot of everything.
Yeah, yeah, family's everything, right?
Yes,
And
100%.
you and I met through a mutual friend of ours that we're going to give a shout out to right now, Mr. Dylan Calgris.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir. It's my
who's
guy.
also, yeah, and we're going to talk a little bit more about him here in a little bit. But let's start off with I'm going to start off with a question I didn't give you in the list
Okay.
was
Love it.
what's your favorite thing to eat food wise?
My favorite thing to eat? Oh, dude. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I'm a pretty simple man when it comes to that. Give me a good burger, good cheeseburger, good. I like my burgers like decked out though. You know what I mean? Like if I'm
Mhm.
going to a burger shop, like I want jalapenos, I want queso, like I want everything. You know what I mean? But also, I've been eating a lot of chicken lately and just trying to I've always liked chicken, but I'm trying to force myself to love chicken because chicken is probably one of the most healthy meats you can ever eat. So I've been like diehard chicken eater lately.
Love it. Man,
Yeah.
food is somebody was asking me yesterday, I sent somebody a picture and said I was this is me in Colorado looking for, hunting for sandwiches, just something facetious. And they're
All
like,
way up in the mountains hunting for the
right, hunting
sandwiches.
for sandwiches. What kind of sandwiches were you hunting for? I'm like, oh well, if I have a choice, my favorite
Yeah.
sandwich, one of my many favorite sandwiches, but one of them in particular is mufflata, right? Which is
Mm.
like the Italian sandwich, and it's got like all kinds of meats and cheeses on it. It's usually made in a round loaf, and you
Oh
wrap it
yeah.
up. Some of the recipes require that you put it's got the olive tapenade on there,
Oh
and then
yeah.
all the meats and cheeses, and then it like soaks with the oil and stuff overnight.
That's
And
whew.
but there's a place in Nashville, in Germantown, that's called Little Hats, and there's one in Franklin too.
Yeah, Little Hats is so good, dude. I love
hmm
Little Hats.
hmm
Yeah,
And
I've had that twice. Really good.
yep. So, but yeah, Italian food's good stuff. And let's talk about where did you grow up? Is it Florida? Is that right?
Man, that's a loaded question for me. I was born in Virginia, Lynchburg, Virginia. Shout out, and my mom and I lived there until I believe I was 5 years old, and then she met my dad. And then he was from Pittsburgh, so we moved to Pittsburgh when I was like 5 or 6, and then I lived in Pittsburgh area until I was 13, and then we moved down to Florida, and I was there until I was age 19. I moved back to Pittsburgh for a year and then moved back to Florida. And then I stayed there until I was like 23, 24. And then I moved to Nashville. So, when people ask me where I'm from, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I was born in Virginia. I was spending a little bit of time there. I spent a little bit of time in Pennsylvania, a little bit of time in Florida. So it's like, it's one of those loaded questions where I'm like, three different states, I guess I call home. I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah, I
so
get that. Well, and
that's where
that
I'm from.
explains the Steelers stuff behind you, and then the
Oh
Pirates.
man. Yeah. Well, my mom met my we didn't move up to Pennsylvania with my dad until they were later on in their relationship. So, I was around my dad and he's a Steeler fan. So, and my whole side of that family, the Steelers die hard. So Pittsburgh through and through.
Mm.
Yeah, and I bleed
You've
black and
been through
gold.
some Pittsburgh fans been through some they've been through some things, right?
I mean, I've at least got to say that I've watched my team go to 3 Super Bowls and win 2 of them.
Yeah.
I that's the team I pay most attention to. But Penguins had their moments. Pirates, I don't really pay attention to the Pirates at all because I mean they suck always. So like, what's the point? I don't think the Pirates have ever been good since I've been on this earth. So it's like I'm not going to give them my time of investment. That doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
There's a guy from my church who he's a he lived in he lived in Philly and up in Pennsylvania, so he's a Phillies everything, everything
Yeah,
Philadelphia fan.
yeah,
And last year it seemed like both of our teams were, colliding with each other, and so there's a lot of this smack talking, because we go to the same church, and
yeah, yeah.
I'm like in the greeter line, and
Sure.
you know, he's wearing a Philadelphia shirt of some sort. I'm just like, dude, you're gonna get killed tonight, you know. And then last year the Dodgers beat them out in the playoffs, and of course I had
Yeah,
to talk some smack, but that's the
right.
fun part about life, and one of the reasons I follow sports is just so we can all you know have some fun outside of
Absolutely,
things, right?
man. Sports brings joy, man. Sports brings joy. It
Hmm.
brings heartache for sure, but
Yeah,
overall it brings
yeah,
joy.
yeah. And is there a particular sport out of all the sports that you enjoy more watching more? Is it like more of a football guy, or what does that look like?
Oh, I'm football all day. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first love. I was actually a really good player. I had a chance to go play college, but I went to a really really small Christian school.
Mm.
And so they evaluated our opponents and who we played against, and they saw that as pretty weak. So I didn't get the part time scholarship that I was hoping to get, and I wasn't made of money, so I didn't get to
Yeah.
go play football. But yeah, I was pretty decent. I was pretty good. I wasn't gonna go pro or nothing, but I was pretty good. So
Yeah. And
football was definitely my first love for sure.
what position? What
I was
were you,
running
offense,
back,
defense, or really?
and then I played outside linebacker.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is that Grayson's actually a little bit competitive.
Oh man, dude. Honestly, as I've gotten older, like I feel like my competitive juices have died a little bit. This doesn't take as serious, but I still like if I don't play as much video games as I used to, but if I still hop on like a Madden and I'm start losing, yeah, I'll definitely I won't throw a controller anymore like I used to, but
All right.
I'll still get heated for sure, no doubt, no doubt.
That
I
is
was a little
awesome. I
kid,
love
man.
that.
I would throw controllers, probably break like one every month.
Dude,
Yeah, a
I had
little
a
bit of
bit of a
rage
temper
there.
myself, but and so how long have you been in Nashville?
Oh shoot, man! I think I'm going on 10 years. I think I've been here 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. Yep, yep. Moved here from
10
Florida.
years. 10 years. And
Yes, sir.
what did that look like? What was the reasoning behind like why move to Nashville?
Yeah, well, I started my career in country music in Florida, playing with a band. Pretty much every venue we could find that would let us play, and I did that for 4 years. And I got to man, the Lord was amazing, man. He blessed me with so many stages to play on in front of so many different artists. I got to play shows with Alan Jackson and Sarah Evans and Reba McEntire and Kenny Chesney and Jason Aldean and Eric Church and so much more. And I did not belong on that stage with those people. When they would come to Florida, we were blessed with knowing the right people at the right time that were able to put me on those stages whenever those artists would come down to our area. So it was cool. It happened really fast. It didn't really. I'll be honest. It really didn't take long for me to be able to get on those stages when I started, which is why I say I didn't belong there. But hey, there we were. So I did that. I did all that all over Florida, and sometimes into Georgia for a good 4 to 5 years. And I just realized at that time, like social media was big, but it wasn't like what it is today. Um, and so it was definitely like I'm either gonna burn out just playing all these same bars over and over again,
Hmm.
or let's just see if we can. take it to the next level and see what Nashville has to offer. So my wife and I decided to move to Nashville and see what the city had for us. And luckily I had been to Nashville a few times, so I knew kind of what to expect as far as talent goes. But when you move here and you're here every day, you just see so much more. So but that's mainly the main reason is we just got me and my band just got to the point in Florida where we were on that top, and there was really no it was we peaked, and it was just like, I can stay here and do this for a long time probably. But there's a ceiling, or can take it to the big leagues and see what happens, see what God has in store. So that's why we did it.
Yeah. So let's talk about your marriage. What's your
Yeah,
wife's name?
Kayla.
Kayla, that's right. And how
Yep.
did you and Kayla meet?
She actually managed another band on the other side of Florida, like the other coast, and so we had played like shows together here and there. And she's happened to step down from managing them, and we just me and the few other bandmates reached out to her and asked her if she was interested in maybe helping us out. And so that's how I met her, and we just grew closer and closer, and eventually just started dating, and then got married. So that's how we met, is honestly through music.
Yeah. And how long have you guys been married?
Let's see, since 2018. Yep, August 2018.
Wow. Wow.
Yep,
8 years
yep.
or thereabouts. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And then when you got to Nashville, you and I both have a lot of friends and people we've met that have moved here since, I've been here myself about 7 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what advice would you have for somebody let's talk about two things.
Okay.
One is advice for people that are thinking about moving here, maybe some pros and cons for music.
For music, I mean, I would definitely say the pros are you're in it, right? You're
Yeah,
in the heart of it when it comes to country music and some other genres, but mainly country. Um, you know, I mean, there's great songwriters everywhere, but you're not going to find any better of songwriters to
yeah,
help you write songs and craft songs than here, right? Sure, you can do Zoom writes and stuff, but how are you going to meet those people? Um, and writing good songs and great songs is the most important thing. So and you never know who you're going to meet, whenever you're in Nashville. Not just when you're going out. Shoot, you could be going to the grocery store and you might meet someone that
that's
could
right.
change your life. You never know, right? So that would definitely say that. The cons, I mean, like I said, I put down a lot to move here. I could still be probably playing shows 24/7 and doing the thing. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
we were blessed enough to be able to grow that business to making a decent amount of money doing what we love, right? But I've never been one to settle, and so I wanted to see how far we could take it. So I put it all down, So you know, um, you're not going to be doing that in Nashville, right? I mean, you
yeah.
could do that from Nashville. You could travel. It's definitely easier to travel when you live in
Oh yeah.
Tennessee. There's another pro, right? Is you can hit so many
Mhm.
different states and so many different areas. But if you already got a business going, I'd definitely make sure that it's that you're willing to put it all down and restart, because you're gonna have to be traveling to your hometown now than just, hey, let me
Yep.
drive 45 minutes to my gig that I'm gonna sell out. So and
Yeah.
nowadays, like I said, like social media is so different nowadays, where
Mhm.
like you got people probably living in Alaska that are about to be famous because they got their TikTok blowing up. You know what I mean? So
Well,
it's it's a different day today, but
oh yeah.
there's definitely pros and cons to moving here or not. So yeah,
So speaking of TikTok, I like
yeah,
how you made that prompt, that natural little organic prompt, just like you always do. Um,
yeah,
let's talk about TikTok because when we were making all the workup for getting your song released our distribution and all that. And we were going through the narrative and then your marketing plan about how you're going to market the song. Part of that was you have a whole, TikTok presence. Let's talk about how did the TikTok thing happen for you and how did it start and where is it now?
Yeah, that's a loaded one. So I started live streaming consistently when COVID hit. Because like when COVID hit, I don't have to talk about it. Everybody knows like the music industry shut down. And so I was just like, I'm to the point where I'm like, I'm deep into this thing. Like, what do I do? So I started, at nighttime. I'm a gamer. I like the game, so I would log on to the Call of Duty Warzone and chop it up with the boys for hours on end. Right? I didn't have no kids at the time, but you know, and I was like, man, I was watching so many people stream their gameplay, and I was like, might as well try it. And so as soon as I tried it, man, I was like, I was all in. So I dove all into like trying to combine this live stream of gaming plus my music, and
Hmm.
really really built it up to the point where I was making some pretty good money and had a really good community and support me and getting behind me. And then I think it was what 2023 2024. I was on a platform called Twitch and Kick,
Yeah.
and those started to kind of slow down for me as they started to die. And I was like, you know what's next for me. And I, to be honest with you, I'd always kind of slept on TikTok, to be honest with you, um for multiple reasons. But I was like, I'm just going to try it. I'm just going to go on live on TikTok via my phone and just sing songs and see what happens. And I quickly found that the algorithm on TikTok and TikTok live is like no other. Like there
Mm,
is no other platform that I know of that helps you find new people that find you for the first time. And so I quickly kind of low key got addicted to it, to be honest with you, because there was like new people finding me every single day and finding out about my music and following
mm,
me. Quickly, the Lord quickly blessed me with an amazing community that is still
mm,
to this day. I go live every day, and I was just live before I'm on here with you, and my community came through big today, like they always do. I call them the
mm,
G Crew, by the way. Shout out the G Crew. And yeah, man. So I'm 2 years into going live on TikTok every day and singing songs and just goofing around with the community and stuff. And it's been a blessing, man. God always seems to lead you down to the right road, and when that road's about to close, he seems to lead you to the next one. So
mm,
I'm thankful to him for that. And
mm,
so um you know I don't say this lightly, but to be honest with you, when I was doing the live streaming thing on the other platforms, man, like I was doing pretty well to the point where I was like not even thinking about music a whole lot anymore.
mm,
um I'd been doing it for a long time, and out of nowhere, man, God just kind of reignited the fire in me to start music again. And that was kind of along the line of when I started doing TikTok lives. And so, all that to say, I don't know what's going to happen with it, but I'm just kind of following the Lord and see what he has planned.
yeah, I love that. Well, and it's been an integral part of, your story and the things that are going on in addition to, everything else you got going. And so going back to music for a bit, what does songwriting development look like to you for in Nashville? Like, I know you've written them with a lot of people. Um, where did it, I'm always curious about where did something start and where is it now? Like, for you, if you're again, because we're, gray area services like artist development, artist management, and talking about that, how do we develop into things? How did you develop as a songwriter? Was it by co-writing or what does that look like?
Man, well, I'm definitely a firm believer in like surrounding yourself with better people than what you are. And to be honest with you, like when I started music, I was not songwriting. Like I was just I was learning the craft of performing in front of a crowd. So that's kind of how my sequence of events of learning how to do music went, and learning guitar. And so I didn't start songwriting really a whole lot until I moved here. And so I was definitely, I definitely, I felt like I was ahead of the game as far as crowd work and stage work goes, but definitely behind the game as far as songwriting goes. So I just tried to write with anybody I could. Sometimes I was doing 3 days when when I first moved here. I don't advise that, by the way,
Mm.
but it's pretty brutal. But
Three rides a day.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was intense. Um, but yeah, surround yourself with as many songwriters that are better than you as you can, and you'll learn. Right? Like, to be honest with you, completely, transparent. Like, songwriting does not come naturally to me.
Mm.
That is, it is a very challenging thing for me. And so anytime I can, like, if I'm not writing with other people, I'm trying to, like, if I'm not live on TikTok or playing a show, like, I'm sitting right here, singing melodies to just instrumental tracks, and like singing melodies to my guitar, or trying to write lyrics. So it's just I feel like sometimes it's a lot more, like, I don't want to say it's a lot more work for me, but it just doesn't come naturally for me. So it's something I
Mm.
got to really, really work hard at, and try and get good at. So, um, but yeah, I would say just surround yourself with as many people as you can that know more than you, and write better songs than you. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, you're in the room with them. Your name's going to be on that song, and you're learning. So it's like you're killing a bunch of birds with whatever that term is. I don't know what the frick that term is, but you know
Two birds with
what I
one
mean.
stone or something like
Yeah, that
that.
one, whatever that is. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
whatever that is, and whatever that means, like
Yeah,
I don't even
exactly.
I don't even
I
know
don't
how
either.
practical that is because
I don't either. It doesn't sound right, but it just
I don't
kind
even
of,
know how I don't even think that people's unless you're throwing things a lot. If you and I
unless
went
you're
out in the
you're
yard right now and we're
you're
gonna
you're
throw like we're probably pretty competitive, but if I probably throw my arm out right now throwing at something,
I know.
right?
And not to mention, like, who's gonna hit a bird with a rock, bro? This bird, anyway, go down.
And two of them at the same time. Like, anyway, I'm sure that there's some, if we, Googled it or whatever,
Yeah. David
we'll
with
have
a
to like,
slingshot could probably make it happen.
yeah, when my fact checker team comes in, like me, comes in later to fact check all our little things after we're done with this podcast,
Yeah, there's probably
I
someone
might,
watching that heard me say that term, and they're like, "Well, actually, sir, it's actually not even possible."
those guys talk about killing birds today. Anyway, but, ain't nobody, it ain't that serious. But,
Yeah,
let's talk about, family.
sure.
You're married, you got a couple kids, a couple dogs.
Yeah.
What what advice do you have for um, there's a lot of folks that move here that are single. There's a lot of folks that move here married, and a lot of folks that have families while they're here.
Mm,
In general, what advice do you have for young dads
mm,
and dads in general that are trying to do, they're trying to raise a family, maybe they're working a job or they're working an online job and then they're balancing music. What
yeah.
What advice from your like how have you navigated that?
Oh man. Uh, it's a loaded thing, right? Like, I always want to show my girls that it's okay to chase your dreams, and keep chasing your dreams. Um, they know that daddy plays shows, and that daddy has photo shoots and video shoots, and that's my work, right? Um, but they also know that the most important thing is them. To me, I try my best to be, everywhere I can. I'm not able to make everything, but as much as I can, I'm there. And like I said, I got two little girls, so I try my best to be, always super super gentle with them, and how I want them to be treated. Um, and at the end of the day, like, this is so cliche, and I hate saying cliche things, but most cliche things are cliche for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're the most important thing. You know what I mean? Like, them. For me. It goes the Lord, Jesus, family, and then my right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easier said than done. Trust me, I know. So it's a daily thing that I got to try and, like, remind myself. And I feel like, God's been really showing me lately, like, at the end of the day, man, like, this all matters. but it also kind of doesn't. You know what I mean? Like fame don't matter. Like fame doesn't
Mm,
matter. Like when someone famous dies and you die and I die, right? Like
mhm,
we're all taking the same thing with us no matter where we go. And so, you know, that I try and remember that and try and take that every day. Like, yes, it's okay to work hard. It's okay to have dreams and goals and ambitions, but at the end of the day, like your relationships with your family and your friends, even like relationships are the most important thing in the world, right? So, you know, work hard, chase your dreams, but don't put them above people,
mm,
family or friends. So,
mm.
that's what I've learned over the years, and that would be my advice for sure.
Well, I know that I feel like it's part of your story that I know about because I've heard you talk about it in the writers' round last year about you and your wife and the health journey.
Yeah,
Because, and I've even learned, I mean, I just now kind of started talking about what I went through with skin cancer and stuff, but, and
yeah,
it's different. Everybody's journey through life, and from my perspective, everybody's journey through, having a family and raising kids and all, everybody's perspective about that journey was different.
yeah.
Um, but you know, I do love hearing how you and Kayla have navigated what you've gone through health wise. I'm sure it's not easy.
Yeah.
Um, and that's actually impacted your that's impacted you as an artist, right? Your songwriting.
Oh man, so much. You know, I definitely feel like the more you live life, the more you know, um, deeper meaning your songs are for sure. Um, yeah, it's been and still is a really really tough battle that I don't wish upon anybody. It's
Mm,
not fun. It's scary, right? You know, we believe in the Lord, we believe in Jesus, but at the same time, we are human, right? So you get those
hmm.
moments where it's like this is pretty scary stuff. This stuff sucks, you know.
Yeah.
So it definitely has impacted the songs, no doubt about it.
Mm. And what so let's go from there to talking about the new record
Yeah,
and what what when did you start when did the songs for this new record come about? And who was involved in the just from the writing perspective, like what were you writing and how did you choose? It's like everybody says, "Hey, I've got all these songs I'm writing," but obviously you and I know that, what we do together is we have to make decisions about things. It's like you might have a whole bunch of songs that you want to work with, but
yeah,
you don't have the time or even the budget to produce all those songs,
right, yeah,
right?
100%.
But what's the new record? Some of the bigger ideas.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
So I got 6 songs. I believe it's 6. I think
That's right.
I have
That's
6 or
right.
7. Um, and I wrote these songs with either I'm trying to think of these. I think all of them I either wrote with my buddy Dylan Calgris, who we were talking about earlier, or my friend Adam McDonough, who I've written for years with, years on years. Um, and some of the songs I've had for a while, and then some of these songs we just wrote within the past year. Um, and these are some of the more meaningful songs that I feel like I've released in my career. Because like we said, like the more you live life, the more the meaningful
Hmm.
your stuff is. So, um, really, really excited about putting these songs out. A lot of them, have to do with either my girls or the cancer journey that Kayla's walking through and I'm walking beside her with. Um, so it's a lot of deep personal things um, that go through, someone's head whenever you have your loved one fighting stage 4 cancer. Like I said, man, like, we believe that Jesus could heal her tomorrow, but there's also a chance that that doesn't happen.
Hmm.
And so, you find that line between like, believing in the Lord and also having that human side where it's like your human side in your mind kind of takes you some dark places sometimes. And so I'm
Oh
very
yeah.
honest and vulnerable in these songs. Um, and So that's what you could definitely expect for these from these next ones, and probably honestly moving forward with all of my songs. I mean, I love a good feel good song.
Hmm.
I'm not a I obviously will probably record more of those, but the majority of my stuff I want it to be about life, man.
Yeah.
I want it to speak to people. You know what I mean? I want it to. I'm I've done the whole like, oh, this song could make a hit. Let's write it. Like I don't.
Right.
It just doesn't interest me anymore. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. I'm trying to write songs that are going to impact people and help people through their day and week and month. So that's what you could definitely expect on this new record and these songs coming up.
Yeah. And then some. And then I know that your producer was Jake Garner, who is
Yeah.
MD for Riley Green. Is that right?
Yep.
And
Yeah. And guitar player, he plays lead guitar and rhythm and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, he's a busy man, killing it.
yeah. And what was that? What was that like working with him?
Man, Dylan hooked me up with him, and whenever we've all three met, I think it was a little over a year ago. I can't remember where we met for breakfast, but Dylan was interested in dabbling in getting to some production stuff, and he introduced me to Jake, and so we kind of had this plan of all three of us kind of diving in. So Dylan's done some co-producing with Jake, and Jake's amazing, man. I mean, I've been here for 10 years, and nothing against my other producers, they're great, but Jake's definitely the dude that I've clicked with the most.
Mm,
Probably helps that we're the same age, and we have the same interests and all that kind of stuff. But he gets my direction, he gets my vibe, he loves my direction. He's a fan of the direction. Um, so it's really easy to get him to buy in and really dig in and get ideas out there, and same with Dylan. So Jay Garner's the dude, man. He's awesome. So, and he's crushing it with freaking Riley Green.
right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just an example of how small this town is sometimes, right? And
Yeah.
the people that you're meeting and working with and getting introduced to sometimes, and because sometimes, in our day to day, like those things seem far away, but doesn't take
Yeah.
much to. Nashville's the most hyper connected town
100%. It
that you've
really
ever
is.
been in, right? And then
Yeah.
so the song comes out. What's the first? What's the name of the first? So tell me more about the first song that we're releasing. It comes out a week from Friday, which
Yeah. April 24th, I believe, right? Yeah.
that's right.
This song's called This Girl. And this is one of the ones that I wrote a while ago with my friend Adam. He has two little girls. And I think we wrote it about 6 months before my first girl was born. And this song is just all about um, how my little girls are miracles, right? Because before they were born, my wife was in stage 1 cancer.
Mm,
She beat it, and then the doctors told us that we would never have kids because of the disease. And even though it was gone, it was pretty much going to be really really hard and impossible. And so after she um, was cancer free the first time, about 3 months later, we found out that we were having Joella. And so it
wow.
was just like it was a miracle. Right? And like I was like, how does that happen? Like after chemo and all the crap that's in and that's in that and goes through your body, like three
Hmm.
months later, it was crazy. And so the second verse of that song is my favorite. Once y'all hear it, you'll see why. Um, and then once she was born, I was thinking about recording it, but I always knew that Kayla wanted two kids,
Mm,
and I just had a feeling that God was going to give me another girl. Just had a feeling because
mm,
I've always,
mm,
if I was going to have kids, I wanted to be
mm,
girls. So
mm,
I didn't want to release it until my second little girl was born, and sure
hmm.
enough, a year and some change later, we had Liliana, and
Mm.
so I wanted to wait until they were old enough to kind of grasp, like, hey, Daddy wrote this song for us. So they're about to turn 5 and 4, and so they're at that age where they understand. So But even if you don't have kids, I feel like you're going to be able to relate to this song because if you want kids, or you got an amazing mom or dad out there, you can kind of see from the vantage point of how they felt about um, y'all as y'all's kids to them. So really, really
Yeah.
excited about this one. Yeah,
Oh man, that's a great story too. It's a great song to start off with, and
yeah,
because being a parent of adult children, it's like even though they're grown and out on their own and doing their own lives and on jobs and everything, it's like back there underneath that big Einstein picture, there's just a whole like thing of pictures of the kids, even though they're all grown up and everything.
yeah,
Um, because family's still everything, right?
yeah, 100
Family and
percent.
community are huge in my life, and
Yeah,
that's one thing I appreciate about and in the music industry, I've met a lot of people that are super family oriented, or they came from families elsewhere, and
yeah,
so having that as part of the identity and part of the culture, you know, is good too. But well,
yeah,
dude, I really appreciate the time today and the fact that we
man.
got to do this interview. And
Absolutely.
where's the best place for people to find you online?
Yeah, man. As far as music goes, I would say Spotify for sure, but you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. Just type in Grayson Rogers and you'll find me. Um, but yeah, my music, Spotify, Apple, Pandora, YouTube, whatever you use, whatever platform you use, you could just search me and find my music. My TikTok handle is I'm Grayson Rogers, letter I, letter M, and then my whole name, all one word. And you'll find me on there probably live,
Awesome.
vibing out with the crew. So yeah, yep,
I'll have to check out a live sometime.
yeah, man, it's a lot of fun for sure.
Cool. Well, right on, brother. Have a great rest of your day.
Hey, thank you for having me, bro. Appreciate you,
Thank
man.
you.